Hey there, how's it going? I'm Renandy in your Games Corner. Modern Game Madness. It is time to get back to Trials and Tribulations here. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. We still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that flash of doubt in your eyes. No! That wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh, you look like you lost the case already. So show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me you don't remember this thing? Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Tribune's kitchen a couple days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for years. Topical use only, apparently. For years? You mean? Yeah, it's in the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable, okay? Today. Got it? Well, there's a problem, and it includes the, well, not that. Gotta find a thing, man. Here it is. Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder in the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank it from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account... What's going on? Didn't I plug this in, man? Thank you, Mr. Godo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godo. Don't let the mysteries of your yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. Okay, I need to check something. And in case something happens, I have to make it safe here. It's important that I do that. I know I had to... There, I've finally got it plugged in. Oh, damn it, I gotta go through this fast, apparently. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? Your god wasn't just throwing seed in here. It was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. And you are? Oh, bonjour, everyone! I am John Armstrong, the owner and chef of the Tribulations restaurant in Chontai. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh, la, monsieur! As you can see, I am the put and perky gentleman, none? On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur? Everything feels right. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell him the court of what happened that day at Tribulations. We volunteers! When it all happened, there were just two customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new articles that day. Like having a large meal between the tables, for example. Perhaps it is one the man was looking at. Look up the earpiece and the glasses. He would have seen everything and observed from first, none? My mirror? Uncle Mirror, the most enormous mirror. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright, let's go back to the last one. Here we go. Everything! He would have seen everything in reverse. Hey Nick, we should take a second think about what old CD said in his testimony. Didn't he phrase it again? A boy who was wearing on the old earpiece on the same side of the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. If he saw everything he described reflected in the mirror, and everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess, so does it? It's kinda hard to believe everything's a fault of the mirror, but do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, he would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper. Where to go and where to shoot? Okay, dude. I think we got just the thing. let's do it.
Objection!
The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side of him as the green lens of his specs. Now, Christian, you can look me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactamente. You see, Monsieur, now that you think about it, it's not so hard, none? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then why would we expect the victim's eyepiece to happen over his right eye?
Objection!
How bitter. Trey, you should have tasted of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. Oh, he thinks. You remember this, I presume? I broke the vase. Sorry, apology. Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony. Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit. Other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly it's the victim's earpiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the old earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Well tried. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good. Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mare can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will, look at la plans of la restaurant. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing in two halves.
I'm gonna need a moment to make some precautions. I hate to have this thing falling apart in front of me. Three, 2, 1. Is the ball rolling? I hope not. Okay, let's continue.
There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Funny it is, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. Can we just skip into the contradiction? I want to present just a thing. We're not gonna get anything out of wasted time. So, let me see if this does anything. Gotcha. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist. Huh, sounds like you're describing yourself, Troy. Well then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo? Oh, you know. This. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have to have with this witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very contradicts with this piece of evidence. I believe this seems to come down to a simple benefactor of things, yeah? There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Troy. That's impossible. That seat's the only one that Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribune that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. But no! Don't try to confuse the court, Troy. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Troy, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table, and it all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Phony victim? Phony victim? Go on. This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there's one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenelg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Ilg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom! Quick, Grimps, why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Trey, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenelg and acted out a whole coffee poisoning, all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, Troy. Why would anyone want to do that? And isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was the serving girl brought him a shot of Fakino, but she poured something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la! This is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribune that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You were accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
We. The victim in Mr. Elk, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived no longer than him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all?
Shut up, not to my point. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
We.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Yeah, we gotta take this into assessment. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me all so happy, Monsieur. You almost recommended to him.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask him about his arrival in more detail. Yeah, what time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, Monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived, so the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, Monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, Monsieur Judge. Everything I do it for you.
Mercy bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right on it. I'm not even gonna care about what happens next. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
What? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Wait, that must be the show Moneo was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving lunch menu.
Get to the point, Troy, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. Soon the year at 1:30? Now, supposedly the victim had made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No!
This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there is only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were two Glen Elgs in Tribune that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and a phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? For the performance, Troy, you were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your mentions of theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly an obvious conclusion. Thank you, Troy. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. Right? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain what a missing corpse went to? A missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Troy. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction, but he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed? Inside. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribune. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The exact location in where the body located inside Tribune was the kitchen. The body was hidden here. I see. Not supposition, but the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Yeah. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations.
Quoi? But I only use the bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they, that Mr. Elk visited an otological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elk. Glenn Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No!
Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
Never! I could not do such a horrible thing.
No! Oh. Mr. Goodall, the bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take him down with my empty cup. Listen up, Chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my age-deficient friend?
Je veux demand Paulin. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
No, absolutely no. I
Let's hear it. You got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Colton Godo's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel.
Oui, it is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. Because I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced by who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was another man.
I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the real name of the killer. Okay. Let's just get right to it. There's nothing else to it. So, I need to put this guy out of his misery. Us and this dance of Ring Around the Rosie, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to. Who is it? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know, maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? This man is Virio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre. At least not while he had this on you. Blackmail. The loan thing. $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
It is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
Like Tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was bidding the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did it, and what he told me to do, I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Moggy out of the dining area and into the kitchen. And after that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Virio Tigre. I don't have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. With the speaker pill.
Mr. Godot? You were summoned as Virio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that he can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, Tride. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godo. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Oh man, getting deeper. It's only been 50 minutes. I hope I can finish this before then. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godo picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's in the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, what are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hand's standing on end. Hey, that's the part and calling the pedal in black, little Miss Top Knot. It's not a top knot. Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound on. No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking on the prints on this for me? The small bottle. If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing on me too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Court will now reconvene, Mr. Godo. Did you find this videotape? I even tamed in for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Same, Tim. The guy's name may be Theo Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there is room for me down there too. What'd you say to me? Nothing, I didn't say none. Honest, who would have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Sparky? Heck no, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point in struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that held you in. Ugh. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no sticking incident, Max, boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course, Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then? Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright.
You're still the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. Oh boy, this is gonna be a doozy. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got wares lined up to borrow cash from the tender lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That low life ain't no lawyer. It just pumps us away at stupid details until he wins. Low life? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. And you're gonna borrow the cash from me! That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not. This witness is, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and they'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my boss. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? This is gonna be a doozy. And what with little time I have right now. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see, Dave, that's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. It seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What did the tiger do all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? Yeah. Let's go. Mr. Tiggery, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, Triton, you know it. Remember the rules. No! It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of kids wanting to do business with me.
I had never seen that young kid before.
I don't believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godo, if you please. Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Yeah, about this little thing. Let's get with the calendar. If I can find it. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elk, but it appears that Mr. Elk knew you. What? Mr. Elk left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elk. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how cool you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Ruh-roh, Raggy. So you're saying that you're claiming to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. And I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes. Will you mind indulging the court witness? He never actually met the victim. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Whew. I need it. I'm running at this full speed and it seems like forever. I'm no liar. I never met Glen Elk. I was some late guy with a name though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office. Tender lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I never been to that Tribulations joint. You here? I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my boss house. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, Roy. Ugh. Okay. Let's go right to the last one. Are you sure about that, buddy? Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant. What? If you really never been to Tribune before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, boy Sky. Who are you, my ball and chain? Oh, no broad control me. Order, order! Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I'm no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said, but okay. I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elk that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant this afternoon. Yeah. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't ever even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Huh, no problem. Anytime Tribe presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know since you pay it. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? It better be the right one. It's good. I ain't one for wasting time anyway. Straight to the point. That's how I like it. Yeah, Therio Tigre. This guy is an asshole, isn't that right? Good to see you here, by the way. Good to see ya. So, let's get right to the... I want to go to the third statement. Yeah. And hope this is the right one. So I can present. Yeah, you're just gonna waste time pressing on anything, don't you know? Yeah, here we go. Here. BAM! You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Troy? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court will think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So from the entrance of Tribune, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Wrong! Have you forgotten the old man's testimony from yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and act out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of the criminal to the court. It shouldn't be any more obvious, wise guy. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on a tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So what dares you to say it again? Come on, you got the goods! You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright? Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Ha! Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godo, let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no. The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the witness who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pen at last try? It was in my pocket. Ahem. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glen Elk, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright. I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glen Elk was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. Wait, what? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident, and someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Well, if it had to be anyone who was part of this operation, it was... Dun dun dun! Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender. He's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? Lily Timeline. Yeah, good to see you. Hey, you're not one of those people, are you? The kind of people who will promote streams? Yeah, I don't have any time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. You better be going home in an armored truck today, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated in the following. Not now. I just want to get the stream finished up. We can discuss this later. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. There's just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Mrs. Bird seems to have seen. Earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And in the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up in all these contradictions. The old incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you! Witness, what do you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You saw right. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna have to give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in on the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poison him. You was here? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre? Ha! What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're gonna have to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trey B&B between yourself and the victim? Yeah, I loaned the old cash, about $100,000. That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? Anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to friend the guy when he starts screaming, "Yes, I won! $500,000! He got lucky, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Okay, what do I gotta do? Yeah, well, you's got the vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, That's faster than fast. $100,000, it's twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. If he got that $500,000 in just in time. So I ain't got no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Okay, here we go. Let's get on to this one. How things would have been with you. No presenting things yet. Be patient. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses and the defendant's steel. Who else could I mean?
If she hadn't gone in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with.
Well, maybe I should push a little on this. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
I use all that what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100,000 bucks back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before the waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigray had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony and reflect on what you just said. The tiger's motive, huh? Okay. Let me see what I got on this. Wait a minute. Haha! I think I know what exactly I'm on about. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elk owed you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, Troy? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? Computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several million dollars on the black market. Several million dollars? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. A skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up to borrow the money. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program. Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he isn't by no means an idiot, Troy. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he'd had time. But what if he needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems that you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why didn't Mr. Tigray need money to tune in to the tune of $1 million? Oh. Alright. This is the one. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. What? No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigray had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order! 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 You say his life depended on it, Mr. 8? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Brutal Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city and a doting grandfather to his precious Viola, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. Not as much sense as what would happen if so-and-so would happen in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million and Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elk's life to pay your debt. Yeah. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigray's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glenn Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigray knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigray would prefer to say never happened. But he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigray with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elk and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigray posted Glenn Elk, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Troy, that's crazy. No one could ever pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigray's plan. Order! Silence or I will clear the courtroom! You just put on a good show, Spiky.
If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You say not dressed up like that kid and create a witness and frame someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something slimy like that.
Agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Troy? What was this trick that you say Mr. Tigray performed to frame the accused? Yeah, it was that. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigray, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify and it was him? Hey, forget about it, you. I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake. It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, right here in court, we deal with people's lives. Okay. No wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll be right back. I gotta dump something here. Okay, I'm back now. Mr. Godo is right. Your Honor, it's speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as judge. With this vested power to hand down a verdict, someone in my position cannot be swayed by memory without evidence to support it. No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glen Elk. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Huh. Sucks to be you, Roy. Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get mauled, you got that? All we managed to do was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence, and then maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre. Your Honor, sir? Wait! Detective Gumshoe! Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge still works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? Sorry it took so long, pal. But I finally got the results from the lab. Results? About the prince, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so do you know who the prince belonged to? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I know it. You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. There's Furio Tigre's paw prints, alright. That's great. Now we got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kinda hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he married the victim. The fact that his prints on this bottle, it really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright, I'm a real loser. I'm not breaking news to me. It's not big breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie. You been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective.
We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Troy. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time on you's gonna waste? I haven't been to no court before, but you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner in here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he's gone down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. Bottle. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's? Your Honor, naturally the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre! Wait! But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains, except for one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints on that fancy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Yeah. What are we on about now? Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elgarner, the victim's killer, used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? You always ain't never gonna get this to stick. You're just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through your Phoenix, right? That ain't the the bottle with the cyanide in it. No, this is the bottle we found the traces of the poison in it. Don't mess with the tiger and you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash didn't look nothing like it. You have screwed yourself, buddy. Got him! At last. What? What's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you people. You're just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell the guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? Don't you realize how fucked you are? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known. You shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in.
Yeah.
But just now you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used up by the killer to hold the poison.
You still know who you messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the butt on me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer, it was all played by you. The biggest phony of all. You're a big fat phony. That's one heavy roar. A bloody roar. And he's dead. He roared himself to death. What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Well done, Trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with the Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godo? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of a Glenelg yawner. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal. The truly frightening one is that defense over there. Godo. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in that trouble a month ago, but now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading off. See you around, pal. Hey, wait! Detective Gumshoe. Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then, huh? Oh, well, Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle, and that wasn't even any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy.
Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It clearly needs it. Maggie. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir, but on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know? Do you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. The trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? And a girl. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. So the case of me comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up, and who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. And we are done with episode 3, and none too soon, because I got stuff to do in a bit. Wow! And talk about getting this done in record time. Let us save here, close the program, find somebody to raid real quick, cause you know, I'm got only a little time coming before something else happens. Well, it's almost been 2 hours. It's not exactly an accurate spectacle that it is. You're not just... Yeesh. You think I would have gotten my browser open? Okay, well, let us see here. I don't know what this... Yeah, I guess it's a randomizer of Link to the Past. Yeah, let's go with it. The streamer is Melee Wizard, by the way. So, let's go on with it. And stay tuned tomorrow for more in Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations shenanigans. I'm gonna start case 4. I've been Ironheady, and well, see you later, compadres. Haha. Okay.